Hey guys, Stephanie here. Hope you're all doing amazing and having a beautiful day. For anyone who doesn't know me, I'm Stephanie Mitchell and I am an online marketing coach for beauty businesses. So I help you to grow your clientele and grow your business through fun and simple online marketing strategies. So for the past month and into the next month, I've been all about websites because I think that your website as a beauty business is such an important part of your online marketing strategy. And I want to make sure that you have a website that not only looks beautiful, but actually works really well to attract clients to you and then convert them to paying customers. Your website can do so many good things for you. It's incredible. So I personally, for example, one of the big things that my website does is it brings people in from Google, from online searches, actually introduces myself to them, and it helps to turn them into one of my community members who that can eventually grow my business. So I get about 5,000 people every single month that find my website and find my business just through Google searches. It's crazy. That's free traffic that I'm getting, absolutely free, and it doesn't cost me anything, but it brings in thousands and thousands of new people every single month. And for your beauty business, you could do the exact same thing. You could have people finding you every month through Google, through searches, whether they're searching things like hair extensions by me, nearby me, or best brow lamination in Ottawa. So many different ways that you can get found, and having a really good strategy for how your website and how your business can get found through Google is such an important part of your marketing strategy. So today I'm going to be sharing 3 easy things that you can do to get your website found on Google. I want to make sure that you are bringing in hundreds of new website visitors every month that are going to fall in love with your business once they find your website, once they find you. But first, they need to actually find your website. So whether you already have a website and you've had it for a little while, and maybe you're just thinking of like some things that you can do to tweak it to help you get found more, take note today because I'm going to be sharing 3 practical, really easy strategies that you can walk away with today. And then if you do not have a website yet for your beauty business, that's okay. Take these ideas, and as you're looking at building your website, take these ideas in to build it right from the ground up so that you can make a website that actually is very sticky and helps people find you. So if you're out there watching live, please say hi in the comments. I love to see who's there watching with me. I want to give you a shout out. And of course, the reason I love doing these live trainings so much is because I love getting your questions. I love seeing what you need help with. I love hearing about your business and hearing more about your website. So please do give me a shout out in the comments, say hi, and then throughout today's training, it's not going to be super long. Let me know if you have any questions below. I'd love to help you out. So Beth is here. Hey, Beth. Thank you so much for showing up. Love that you are so engaged. I see you on so many of my live broadcasts, and it's so cool to see you here. Maylin's also here. Hey, Maylin. Is it going to be saved? Yes. All of my live broadcasts are always saved, and you can come back and watch them, rewatch them anytime that you want. Paulina's also here. Hi, Paulina. Thank you for being here. Okay, so without further ado, I'm going to share with you 3 easy strategies to help your salon website get found on Google. So there's 3 things that I want to share. They are not difficult, but they can make such a difference to people finding you. So number 1 strategy is all about keywords. So keywords, you may have heard of them, maybe you haven't. Keywords are what Google uses to figure out what your website is about. So what does that mean? That means that if your website contains like words and text that say things like hair extensions, or say things like balayage or lash extensions, depending on what words you use on your website, Google searches through those words and says, oh, this is a business that focuses on lash extensions and brow shaping and waxing, for example. Or Google will say, I think that this business and this website is a waxing studio and they specialize in hair removal, waxing, and sugaring. That's how keywords work. It sounds really simple, and it actually is. And the thing that you have to really take into consideration is which keywords are you using on your website? So the keywords, like I said, are the little phrases or the little words that you use on your website that give Google the clue of what your website is about. Depending on which keywords you're using, Google will either ignore you and say, no, she's not relevant, or Google will reward you and help even more people find you because they're searching for keywords like that on Google. So imagine if every single person in your city who searched for example, hair extensions nearby me, and you do hair extensions, imagine if every single one of those people found your website. It's a huge, huge opportunity for you. But a lot of times keywords are something that we ignore and don't think about and kind of overlook. So the first thing to help get found on Google is just to be aware of your keywords and use them on your website. So first step for you to do that is just simply figure out what keywords you want to be found for. Make a list, open up a Google Doc or get like a pen and paper, a notepad if you'd like to do it old school, and just write down a list of which keywords, which phrases you'd like to be found for. So say, for example, you are a hairstylist and you would like to be found in your city, especially for balayage, because you're really an expert in that. So you would sit down and you would write out a list of all the phrases that people would use on Google to find you, that you want to be found for. So that could be something like balayage experts in, and then your city name, so Ottawa. It could be things like best balayage in Ottawa. It could be ombre or other words that people use instead of balayage, just as an example. Or let's say you specialize in microblading, and you would essentially want to make a list of all of those keywords and phrases that someone would use to find a microblading artist. So like I said, it could be things like microblading versus something else. So comparing microblading to something else. Maybe you want to be found for a term like that. Or could be powder brows, like powder brows near me, or who does the best powder brows in Ottawa, for example. So get really creative, get really scrappy, open up a document and write down a list of those keywords that you want to get found for. And if you need help with that, go into Google Keyword Planner. So you can open up a new tab in your browser and just type Google Keyword Planner. That is an amazing tool that Google provides for free to help you find keywords that people are using in your city to find businesses like yours. So go ahead, write down that list, use the Keyword Planner if you need to, and then once you have your list, see for yourself whether you are including those keywords on your website. So if, for example, you want to be the #1 balayage expert in your city, do you have balayage expert Ottawa written on your website anywhere? Does it appear on the title of your website, in the description of your website, in the text of your website? So there are so many different places that you can put these keywords, but having them included on your website strategically is so important. So I wanted to quickly share my screen with you to show you what it means to have keywords like this on your website. So here you can see I went on Google and I searched for weft hair extensions Toronto. So not just hair extensions, I specifically wanted to search for weft hair extensions in Toronto. And you can see Google Maps shows up. There's an ad here, so someone paid for this spot. There's a few like things that you can buy online. But underneath of that, there's the first search result. The first website that pops up is this business here. It's morethanhair.ca. And you can see the title of this page on their website is Hair Extensions Toronto. So they were very intentional about the title of their website. And then you can see here, this little preview of what's in here, they included the word weft as well. So if I click in here, I can see here what they do, sew and weft, their prices. They actually have a page talking about the different types of hair extensions that they do. But they were intentional about using the different keywords here. So just make sure that when you've got your list of keywords, you put them into the titles, you put them into the descriptions of your pages, and then you also put them into the text, so what's actually written on your pages. So keywords are so crucial. There's also this one, for example. So brow lamination Ottawa. You guys know that brow lamination is becoming so hot. I've been looking at it myself. I probably won't get it done, but it's a service that I've been curious about. So I searched brow lamination Ottawa. I live in Ottawa. And there actually isn't that much that comes up. There's no Google Maps like listing of all the brow lamination. There's no ads. So I think it's because it's relatively new type of treatment. But there are some businesses in Ottawa who have been very intentional on their websites about including the keywords for it. So just as an example, there's this one. They created a full new page. Ottawa Beauty Bar has a full new page on their website just for brow lamination. And it's helping them to get found for this keyword. So if you click in, they actually not only show pictures, but they also even explain what brow lamination is. So brow lamination is the hottest new trend for brows, and it's taking the industry by storm. So having a page where you include these types of keywords, you put them in the title, the description, and the text, it's helping these businesses get found. So that is your first strategy for getting found on Google, is be very intentional about your keywords. Now, I know that it takes a little bit of time, takes a little bit of research to figure out what your keywords are, but to start off with, they should be pretty simple. So think about your main treatments and services that you want to get found for. Combine them with keywords like your city name, experts, or top. So a lot of people search on Google for things like the top Brazilian wax in Ottawa, just as an example. So think about those type of keywords and be strategic about the content that you're putting on your website to include those keywords in there. All right, so that is the first strategy for you. It's all about keywords. If you have any questions about the keywords, please jump into the comments and ask. I know it's a little bit of like a big strategy. Today's not a super in-depth training, but trust me, even just working a little bit on your keywords is going to make a huge difference. Like I said, I get thousands of website visitors every single month. And part of the reason for that is just because I have been very intentional about figuring out what people are searching for and making sure that my website has those search terms in it. So Google rewards me with a bunch of traffic. Okay, so that is the first strategy, keyword. Second strategy for you, and I love this one, is all about content creation. So Google actually loves fresh content. What that means is that if you are creating content on your website that people are searching for and it's new and you're updating it, Google will reward you. So if you just created your website a few years ago or a few months ago and you're never adding anything new to it, Google looks at it and it says, that website's a little bit stale. So instead, to help get found, work on creating new content regularly on your website. What do I mean by that? What do I mean by fresh content? Specifically, blog posts. They could be web pages, but I find that the best, easiest, and most Google-friendly way to create new content is through blog posts on your website. So a blog is where you can create really valuable, helpful content that people would actually be searching for, and then they can find you and your blog posts. And then through your blog posts, they find you, they find your website, they find your business. So just as an example, those 5,000 visitors that I got on my website every month from Google, about 95% of them, of those people, end up going to one of my blog posts. So they're not finding like my homepage, they're finding some of that really juicy content that I'm creating. They're reading my blog posts, they're getting really inspired and educated from them, and then they go on to learn more about me. And then maybe one day down the road, they're going to become a customer. So blog posts, just give me a yes in the comments if you do blog posts at all. If you've ever written like a blog post or create contents. I love blog posts, and there's a few reasons for that. Number one, like I said, they're going to help you get found on Google, and I'll give some examples of what to do, how to do that in just a second. In addition, blog posts can also be a really great piece of content that you share with your existing community. So just as an example, your email list, if every week or every month you're sending an email out to your email list and you've got a really juicy blog post about the types of treatments that you do, or educating or sharing really helpful information that clients are asking you all the time, and you share that in the format of a blog post, people are going to love it. So blog posts are also great for sharing with your community and really positioning yourself as the expert. And the great thing about having new, fresh content on your website, this is what I do all the time, you can share it on Pinterest as well. I share my blog posts on Pinterest, and I get thousands and thousands of website visitors every month through Pinterest. So a lot of them come from Google, but an equal amount of them come through Pinterest. So those are just some of the reasons that I love blog posts. I just asked if anyone here had done blog posts before. Honora says never. Beth says no, I know I need to start. Also, Honora asked a question. She says, hey, Stephanie, if I put replays of Facebook Lives on, would that work for content creation? Yes, Honora, that's a great question. What I do and what I'm going to be doing with this Facebook Live is I actually post it on YouTube. Like I upload it onto YouTube. And then, so I've got one more place where I'm sharing it. And then I turn it into a blog post. So I embed this YouTube video into my blog post. And then I actually write a written blog where I'm kind of summarizing the points that I went through in my video. So some people like watching videos. Some people like reading content. Google loves reading your content. So if you take a video and turn it into a blog post, Google loves it even more because it knows what that video and that content is about because it can read it. So great question. So Beth says, I know I need to start. Beth, I'm going to make it easy for you because I know one of the main reasons that people don't blog so much is because they don't really know what to blog about. I'm going to give you a few ideas. So things that you want to make blog posts that are, number one, helpful to people. Number two, position you as the expert. So whether you're an expert in hairstyling or coloring or skincare or waxing, microblading, makeup, whatever it is, your blog posts also position you as the expert. But also, those blog posts should be helping you get found on Google. Because that's what this video is all about. That's what I'm sharing with you guys today, how to get found. Your blog posts should be about topics and include keywords that are helping you to get found on Google. So here's a couple of ideas for you, Beth, and anyone else who's like, I like the idea of blog posts, but I'm not really sure what to write in them. Honora just asked, what is embedding? Great question. It's just where you take the link for the video and you put it in your blog post. So usually you can put videos in blog posts, and that's just what I mean. Depending on what kind of website you have, you do it different ways. Jen says, I have a couple of blog posts, but I have a hard time being consistent with it. Yeah, Jen, I totally get that. When I first started blogging, I had a hard time with consistency as well. One thing that helps so much is just writing out your content schedule ahead of time. So like putting in a calendar and saying, I'm going to post one blog post a week, or I'm going to post one blog post every other week, which is what I used to do. Write out your topics ahead of time. Get a Google Doc, write them in point form, and then turn those point forms into a blog post. Doesn't have to be perfect, doesn't have to be long. Just get a good hit of some really great information in there, and people will be happy. Okay, so here's a couple of ideas for different blog posts that you can write. First, write a detailed blog post for each of the services that you do. So say, for example, you're an esthetician and you do skincare. Maybe you have different types of treatments that you do. Maybe you do microdermabrasion. Maybe you do LED light therapy. Maybe you have like a signature facial. So write a blog post for each of the treatments that you do, explaining who it's for, what the benefits are, maybe kind of some of the products that you use, and some of the questions that clients have about that treatment. The reason that you're going to write a blog post for each of these is, number one, I'm sure that your clients and potential clients have these questions all the time. So you can link to this blog post from your emails, from your social, on different parts of your website. Anytime that you talk about a service or treatment, you can link them over to that blog post. So it's amazing as a piece of content to kind of educate people before they book with you for that service. On top of that, Google loves it. Google loves when you have a really detailed piece of information that gives all the answers about one of your treatments, because people could be searching for things like, people could be searching on Google for things like, what's the difference between powder brows and microblading? Or does LED light therapy actually work for skincare? Just as an example. Your blog post can get found for those search terms. So when you write those detailed blog posts about your treatments and your services, think about what could people be searching for about these treatments. Okay, so that's the first idea. Second idea for you, and Google's gonna love this so much. Write a blog post about your favorite beauty businesses in your city. So you know that people are searching all the time on Google for things like best salons and spas nearby, or the top beauty businesses in Toronto, that kind of thing. If you write a blog post where you have a roundup of your favorite businesses, and you're going to be included on there, obviously, people can find that blog post through Google. So it's a great opportunity to rank for those kind of keywords. And you're also giving a shout out to maybe some of your friends who are in the beauty community nearby. You're linking over to their websites. Those other beauty businesses that you're giving a shout out to, maybe you can tell them about it and you can get them to share that blog post as well. So just do a little bit of a write-up about each of the beauty businesses, or, maybe even just some of the best local businesses nearby that you love. Give a little blurb about each one of them. Create that list, and it's going to provide so much SEO. SEO is search engine optimization, so it's what Google likes about your website. It's going to help you rank for a lot of keywords. Okay, so that's the second idea for you. And then third idea is similar to my first idea, but write a blog post where you're comparing one treatment or one service to another, especially if you do one treatment and you don't do another. So I'm just going to give an example. Say, for example, you do ombre brows or powder brows, and you don't do microblading. Maybe there's a reason why you don't do it, and you're comparing what you do to this other type of treatment, and you explain and you educate why you do one and not the other. That's a great piece, not only because it brings a little bit of like controversy and drama because you're providing your opinion, it also educates, and those are the types of things that people search for on Google, like one treatment versus another. So for example, with hair extensions, maybe you want to compare one type of hair extension to another. What's the benefits? What's the upsides? What's the downsides of the different services? And you can talk about that. And then at the end of the blog post, just say, and to introduce myself, I do hair extensions. I love this type, especially because of these reasons. If you want to book an appointment with me, click the button below. So those are just 3 ideas for you. There's unlimited ideas. Anything that your clients tend to ask you often about, write a blog post about it. Make sure it's got the keywords in it that people are going to be searching for. Put that up on your website, and Google is going to reward you because it loves that fresh content. Jessica's here. Hey, Jessica, thanks for showing up. Love that you are here. Beth says, great suggestion. Love it. Okay, so that is my second, I wanted to say strategy. That sounds so boring. I always say strategy. That is my second idea for you for showing up on Google is creating fresh content. Okay, third way to get your website found on Google is to link it to Google My Business. So Google My Business is where you have like a profile that you can show up on Google Maps. It's where you can get reviews. It's where you share pictures of your place. So just give me a yes in the comments if you have a profile on Google My Business. Just give me like a quick yes or a no if you don't. That's okay. I'm just kind of curious. So Google My Business is actually a huge way that your business can get found on Google. And it's great on its own, but both your Google My Business profile and your website will have more power, and you'll get found more often if you combine them together and you link your website to your Google profile. So on your Google My Business profile, it should link to your website. Sounds very basic, but I know that a lot of businesses are either missing one or the other. They have a Google profile, but they don't have a website, or they have a website, but they don't have a Google profile yet. Use both, and you're going to get found so much more often. So Beth says she does, and Honora says that she also does have a Google My Business profile. That is amazing. So there's just a couple of things that you can do to tweak your Google My Business profile that's going to help you get found even more when people are searching through Google for things like spray tanning near me or best manicure in Toronto, that kind of thing. First of all, Google has something called NAP, name, address, phone number. Your name and your address and your phone number are so crucial as a brick and mortar local-based business because Google wants to make absolute sure that whenever someone is talking about, for example, Honora's business is called Tanora, Google wants to make absolute sure that whenever someone searches for Tanora, that they're only talking about this business that's located at this address. So it's a little bit of a technical thing, but the main point is that anywhere that your business appears online, you need to make sure that you have the exact same NAP. You have the exact same name, so it's always spelt the exact same way, no variation, no anything extra added at the end. It's always spelt the exact same way, letter for letter. Address, meaning that your address is always the same everywhere you appear online. Again, make sure it's the exact same spelling, exact same format, and then phone number. If you've ever changed your phone number, you need to go back and make sure that everywhere that your phone number appears online, it's always the same. So why I'm saying that is because you want to make sure that all of this information that appears on your Google My Business profile is the exact same as what appears on your website. You should have your business name, your business address, and your business phone number on your website as well, and Google will be able to match those. So just make sure they're the same there. And then anywhere else that you appear online, whether that's like a business directory for like local businesses in your area or anything like that, just make sure you've got the same name, address, and phone number. So what you can do is just do a quick Google search for your business name, find all the websites where you appear on and click through to them and make sure that it's all matching. And if it's not, update it. Update it and you will find that you have more people finding you because Google is rewarding your business, rewarding your website, and rewarding your Google My Business profile for having that consistency. A couple other things for your Google My Business profile. There's a lot that goes into it to help you get found, but two very big things. Work on your reviews. Get those reviews on your Google My Business profile and so many more people will be finding your business. It's not a coincidence that usually the top ranked businesses are the ones that have really great reviews. Google ranks you also based on your reviews. So work on getting more reviews, keep in touch with clients, follow up after appointments, ask for reviews. Even just having 10 extra reviews, if they're 5 stars or 4.5 stars, is going to make a huge difference. So reviews, and then check in on your Google My Business profile every few months and see if it needs some freshening up. So just check your photos. Do you need to upload new photos? Are the first photos that appear on your profile, are they pretty? Do they do a good job of explaining your business? So people really do care about those things and they will decide to either click through or not click through to check out your business based on those. Okay, so that was the 3 things that you can do for your website to help get found on Google. You can have an extra 100, 1,000, or even several thousand people finding you on Google every single month if you just do a few things to your website, a few tweaks to make Google love you and help you get found. So the things that we went through today are keywords. Research them, make sure that you are appearing for those kind of keywords, that you have them on your website, and that you've been strategic about which keywords you're using. Number 2, content creation. Google loves fresh content. They want to see it on your website. So create blog posts that really are keyword rich and are also really valuable content that people are searching for. And then number 3, link your website to your Google My Business profile and make sure that your name, address, and phone number appear the exact same everywhere that your business is online. Okay, so those were the 3 things for SEO to help your business get found on Google. But before I go away, I do have another quick thing to share with you, a quick freebie. If you are looking at updating your website, or if you're looking at creating a new website because you don't have one yet, I created an absolutely free and fun, I think it's fun just because I love them, checklist for you. So if you are like me and you love checklists and you want to make sure that you have everything in order for your website, I made a website launch checklist. So everything from like which content to have on your website, making your website Google friendly, making sure that it's branded, everything from start to finish of what your website needs to not only be pretty, but also effectively convert your visitors into clients. It's on my checklist. So you're going to feel amazing like checking all those things off. So just go to sunnystorm.marketing/checklist and you're going to get a free checklist of all the things your website needs to have. So go ahead, check it out. And I feel like this live is shorter than usual, which it is because normally I'm just like blathering on. I really wanted this to be short and sweet and to the point because SEO and Google and websites do not have to be complicated. It can be simple. These are 3 simple things that you can do. You don't need to make it perfect. You just need to take a few baby steps, and even just a few tweaks to your website are going to help you get found by so many more people. So thank you, Jessica. I'm just going to move this. Thank you, Jessica. Thank you, Paulina. Thank you, Honora. Honora says, Google used an old photo of the outside. How can I get them to change it? It doesn't even look similar anymore. So, Honora, you can add new photos to your Google My Business profile. You can upload new photos and keep it fresh. I know that Google does the street view also, where they like take pictures of the outside and that will show up. You might not be able to change that street view, but what you can do is just take your own photos of the outside and the inside of your salon and upload them on your Google My Business profile so that they're among the first photos that people see. And definitely keeping your profile updated is a really great way for just people to feel like your business, people care about the photos. They really do. They care how your business looks, both from the outside and from the inside. So update those photos and people are going to love it. They're going to love seeing your decor, that kind of thing. All right, everyone, I'm going to say goodbye for now. Hope that you all have a lovely day. Don't forget to download my checklist for your website. It's right here, sunnystorm.marketing/checklist. Go ahead, download it, and I will see you again next week. And we're going to talk about websites again because they're so, so important. All right, have a beautiful day. Talk to you all soon.